This week's portion is known as VaEtchanan, the second portion in the book of Devarim or Deuteronomy. It is always read on the Shabbat immediately following the fast day known as Tisha B'Av, the ninth day of Av, the fast day which commemorates the destruction of both the first temple and the second temple in Jerusalem. Shabbat is also known as Shabbat Nachamu, based on the first two words of the Haftorah, the prophetic reading, Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami, comfort ye, my people, Isaiah says in chapter 40. And this week and the next 7 weeks in total are the prophetic readings, the Haftorahs of consolation. We are in the midst of this spiritual element of the calendar in which we are focused on the sense that the temple in Jerusalem has as a main feature of what it means to be Jewish. When the temple was standing, Jewish worship was centered in the temple. Sacrifices were offered there. People look forward to making pilgrimages on the holidays to the temple to observe the holidays in Jerusalem. Once the temple was destroyed, Judaism was transformed by the rabbis to be observed both in synagogues and at home. But at the same time, the rabbis recognized that we should maintain a connection with the temple in Jerusalem and always pray and hope for the day when the temple would be rebuilt. The destruction of the temple in Jerusalem was seen by the rabbis as a punishment for our sins, that we are responsible for the temple being destroyed, and if only we were to be recommitted wholeheartedly and sincerely to the covenant and to Jewish practice, then we would see the day when the Messiah would come in our lifetime and the temple would be rebuilt. And so this week's portion, it's not by accident, but it is purposeful that this portion is always read right after Tisha B'Av, because as we mourn the destruction of the temple and metaphorically are wondering what we are supposed to do now with our lives, how we are supposed to connect with God, the portion reminds us, let's get back to basics. Let's get back to our roots. Let's understand that we need to believe in God, and we need to be reminded that there is only one God, and that is what the Shema says. And secondly, we need to be reminded of our covenant and our obligations within that covenant. And the 10 Commandments serve as that reminder and that motivation for us. And so let us be reminded by the Shema and the 10 Commandments to study them, to understand what they mean to us in our lives, how we can connect with them and motivate us to true and righteous living. Shabbat Shalom.